your pain has a purpose. You see, life is filled with seasons of joy and pain, triumphs and trials. Often, it is in our moments of greatest pain that we question our path and purpose. But I want to assure you today, in the words of Dr. Miles Monroe, that your pain is not pointless. It has a divine purpose. Trust in God's plan, not in your pain. Pain, dear friends, is an inevitable part of the human experience. It's something that we all encounter at various points in our lives. But pain is not an end. It is a passage. It is a process that God uses to bring about His perfect will in our lives. The trials and tribulations we face are not meant to destroy us, but to develop us. Consider the story of Joseph. Joseph was a man who knew pain intimately. Betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and imprisoned. Joseph's life seemed to be a series of unending miseries. Yet, despite his suffering, Joseph remained faithful to God. He did not allow his pain to dictate his perspective. Instead, he trusted in God's greater plan. And what was the result? Joseph rose to become the second most powerful man in Egypt. And through his position, he saved countless lives, including those of his own family. Joseph's story teaches us that our pain has a purpose. It is through our suffering that God refines us, prepares us, and positions us for greater things. Pain is often the precursor to promotion. It is in the furnace of affliction that our character is forged and our faith is strengthened. In the book of James, we are told to consider it pure joy whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. James 1:3. This scripture reminds us that our trials are not in vain. They are working in us a perseverance and maturity that cannot be achieved through ease and comfort. Think about the process of refining gold. The gold must be subjected to intense heat to remove impurities and bring out its true value. Similarly, our lives must undergo the refining fire of trials to reveal the strength and purity of our character. Without the process of refinement, we remain impure and unprepared for the great purposes God has for us. Beloved, your pain is not an indication that God has abandoned you. Rather, it is a sign that He is working in your life. He is shaping you, molding you, and preparing you for something far greater than you can imagine. Romans 8:28 assures us that, in all things, God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. Even in our pain, God is working for our good. One of the most powerful aspects of pain is its ability to draw us closer to God. In our moments of deepest sorrow and suffering, we often find ourselves seeking Him more earnestly, praying more fervently, and relying on Him more completely. Pain strips away our illusions of self-sufficiency and brings us to a place of total dependence on God. It is in this place of surrender that we truly encounter His presence and power. Consider the Apostle Paul. Paul was a man who experienced immense suffering for the sake of the gospel. He was beaten, imprisoned, shipwrecked, and faced countless other hardships. Yet, Paul did not despair. He understood that his pain had a purpose. In 2 Corinthians 12:9-10, Paul shares how he pleaded with the Lord to remove a particular source of suffering from his life. God's response to Paul was, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." Paul's response to this revelation was, "Therefore I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. That is why, for Christ's sake, I delight in weaknesses, in insults, in hardships, in persecutions, in difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong. Paul's perspective on pain is a powerful lesson for us all. He recognized that his suffering was not without purpose. It was through his pain that the power of Christ was made manifest in his life. His hardships became the platform for God's glory to be revealed. Beloved, I want you to understand that your pain is a part of God's plan. It is a tool that He uses to accomplish His purposes in your life. Trust in His plan, not in your pain. Do not allow your suffering to cause you to doubt God's goodness or His love for you. Instead, see it as a sign that He is at work in your life, bringing you to a place of greater strength, faith, and maturity. In times of pain, it is crucial to maintain an eternal perspective. Our present sufferings are temporary, but the glory that awaits us is eternal. In 2 Corinthians 4:17-18, Paul reminds us, "For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen, since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal." Our pain, though real and often overwhelming, is producing for us a glory that will far outweigh the suffering. I encourage you today to shift your focus from your pain to God's plan. Seek His presence in the midst of your trials. Allow His word to comfort and guide you. Surround yourself with a community of faith that will support and pray for you. And most importantly, hold on to the promise that your pain has a purpose. Now, I want to leave you with a call to action. Take some time to reflect on your own life. Identify the areas where you are experiencing pain and ask God to reveal His purpose in it. Surrender your suffering to Him and trust that He is using it for your good. Reach out to others who are going through similar struggles and offer them the hope and encouragement that you have received. If this message has resonated with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Be a vessel of God's love and encouragement to those around you. And remember, no matter what you are going through, God has a purpose for your pain. Trust His plan and watch as He transforms your suffering into something beautiful and redemptive. Keep the faith, beloved, and be encouraged. Your pain is not the end of your story. It is merely a chapter in the grand narrative that God is writing for your life. Embrace the process, trust in His plan, and look forward to the glorious future that He has in store for you. Be blessed.